So I'm working on a new poster. I was just talking to the sweetest homeschool mom, and I had time before our chat to throw this sketch of this poster together. And I think it's so valuable that I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about it before I finish it and do a full video on it later. But she's at this stage in homeschooling where her kids are older and their foundation in homeschool is set. So, what does that mean? It means those early years of homeschooling where you focus on basic math and how to read and the disciplines of actually doing the next thing is all set, right? Her kids have their basic math facts under control and they have a plan to get those basic math facts rock solid, super important in homeschool. And then the whole idea of, well, what do you do once you have those basic things under control? How do you motivate the kids? What do you do after you've got arithmetic down and you have the reading down and you have all the basic foundations? I can't color and talk at the same time. Say hi when you jump on, by the way. And this is actually, I was telling her I love all the stages of homeschooling, but this is my favorite season in homeschooling because once your kids have all those basic foundations under control and down, this is where secret sauce comes in. This is where we get to lean in. If you're inside the homeschooling Olympians, this is like, oh, so good. Your kids, your older kids can tell when something is just busy work. And we live in a day and age that we don't need busy work. We need purposeful activities. We need to lean into passions, talents, and abilities and equip our kids to launch into their future. So once you're past the stage of foundations, your kids will love this. This works for every kid all over the planet when they can see that you are leaning into their bright and shining future, their bright, shiny future, and that the things that they're doing have purpose, that they're interested in them, and you're applying and leaning into learning in an engaging way. The kids get excited because they can see that they're moving down the road toward their future. And it's simple, but it's challenging because in some respects you'll go slower because this is not a fast train. The goal is not finishing curriculum. The goal is not a high school diploma. The goal is not a bachelor's degree. It's not that kind of a goal. The goal is stepping into what you're destined to do with your life. And when your kids see that you see their goals, their heart, their passions, their abilities, and that you're equipping them to move down the road, oh my gosh, just try and hold them back. Kids don't need a to-do list of 100,000 things to do. They need a goal of something to shoot for. This works for kids in that age group between 10, 11 and leaving the house. But really a sweet spot is right around that 12 to 14-year-old age, at the same time that their brains are short-circuiting because of floods of hormones. If they just have busy work, then they die. They turn into zombies. They don't see purpose. They're not interested. They're not engaging. They're rolling their eyes. They're arguing about everything. But if at that same time that the hormones are transforming them from daughter to woman, from son to man, just in that flood of hormones, if they can see that they are seen and that they have a goal and that they have things to do that are helping them move toward that goal, and then they get to share them with the people in their life. Oh, this is the magic of homeschooling. Now, I would love to chat with anybody that's interested in this type of teaching, this type of coaching. This is exactly what my husband and my heart beat faster for, is to help people embrace this kind of learning with their kids. It is the road to success. It is the road to thriving. It is the road to passion-driven, interest-led learning. It's slower because it's not a boxed curriculum with little check boxes. It's hands-on projects that you take the time to map out with your kids, and then you gather materials, and then they get to lean into it, and then they get to share it with somebody at some point in time. And it sparks your kids in a way that will blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. They'll create, they'll innovate, and they'll share with total enthusiasm because what they're doing has purpose. Your brain, my brain, their brain are purpose-driven machines. If they already know it, they're bored. They're bored, and you don't learn when you're bored. Oh, you can be prepared to learn when you're bored, but you want to see purpose. Your kids want to know that what they're doing has meaning, and it needs to be interesting to them. Now, if they're too little, this can go haywire-y, right? You really need to work on the foundation stuff. They need to know their basic math facts inside and out. They should know how to read. They should know that when they get out of bed in the morning, they make their bed, if that's a rule in your house. The foundations are set first. And then as they get older, you'll start to see them leaning towards something. It could be rugby. It could be rowing. It could be archery. It could be dance. It could be painting. It could be math. It could be history. It could be science. It could be anything. As they hit that age where the hormones are flooding and they would love to do something that has meaning and value in life, then you can help them pick a goal, that you brainstorm that with them. Pick projects that are relevant to them, that things that they're interested in, things that they can lean into, that you can teach them or learn together how you take a project and how you map it out, and then how you put that map into a schedule that then they follow step by step in order to complete the thing. And then at the end, they're going to love it so much because it has value that they're going to want to share it with somebody. They might want to share it with their YouTube subscribers. They might want to share it with the next door neighbor, grandma, dad, mom, brother, sister. They're going to want to share it with somebody. And that whole cycle is something that then gets repeated and repeated until they leave the home. And the last thing that I'll say is that when you teach kids in this way, where you are helping them see that they have a bright and shiny future, even if the goal is little, hey, this next step is a baby step, but this is our goal, is you're going to get that. Maybe it's learning to drive a car, or maybe it's, it could be anything. That effort of identifying a goal, creating a plan, and then executing the plan is never wasted. It doesn't matter what the goal is at that point. What matters is that there's a process that they go through, and that they learn that they can take something big and then break it into smaller pieces and then do it a little bit at a time. And then if they put their heart and soul into it, it turns out so amazing that they can't wait to share it with the world. So anyway, that's my thought for the moment. I would love to chat with you on the phone. Let me know, and I will simply share my calendar with you. You pick a 15-minute time in my calendar, and we get to chat about homeschooling and where you're at and what kinds of resources and things you need. And then we can talk about whether or not something like Homeschooling Olympians would be a good fit for you. So anyway, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. And I'll do a longer video on this once it's beautifully colored. Bye.